red, blue, purple light. Friends, red, blue, purple light. Friends, facts, red, blue, purple light. Friends, red and blue, purple light. Friends, facts, you can get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road, you better stay on your toes. I was till the land, focused on the ego. Then I open my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah, we gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts, we in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts, peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light to the family. Peace, love and light to the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you, and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.
Peace to the family, peace to you and yours, peace to you and yours. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Third Eye Thursdays. You are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host for the evening, Brother Red Pillar. And that song that you just heard, ladies and gentlemen, that song right there, you know, that work of art right there, that is called the Facts Remix. Yo, just imagine if a song was like, imagine if Sage was a song, right? That's what that song is. That song sets the tone. That song resets the tone. That song smudges the room with a frequency, with a tone, with a feeling. You know what I mean? Somebody asked me the other day, they was like, will you change the theme song? Will you change it as the intro? And I was like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Because that song right there is like it's like a audio smudging. You feel me? It's a sonic smudging type shit. If you know what I mean? I'm gonna get the term one day. I will figure it out. But right now it feels like a sonic smudging. So yeah, that right there is off the 44 Tops debut album, the 44 Tops right here. If you like that song, you're gonna love the album. All right, I'll put the link on the scroll so you could go ahead and get that for yourself. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, peace, love, and light. Welcome to another episode of Third Eye Thursdays. This is going to be a beautiful, powerful, wonderful presentation, a wonderful show tonight. Indeed. You know, there's a lot going on, of course, in the world, and we'll get into some things. We'll touch on some things tonight, of course, as we always do around this time. But before we get into anything, let's go ahead and do the roll call so we see who is in the building. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. Peace, love, and light. And if you was not able to catch this show yesterday, let me see. Let me pull this up. If you wasn't able to catch the show that we did with the good brothers, all right, this right here, B-Dell, Alkebalon 44, and me and Blue. We did a show yesterday. It was a classic, an instant classic. Magnetic Minds and Masonic Moves Part 2. And we also made the announcement yesterday that we will be doing a lecture in March. All right. With all of the people that you see on this flyer, we will be doing a lecture in March. It will be on 3/22. That is You know, that's in conjunction with Blueprint 3/22. On 3/22, we will be doing a lecture for my Patreons and all of my KTLian and everybody else that's invited. This will be Zoom only. It will feature B-Dell, Alkebalon 44, B-Dell 1014, Blue Pillar 44, Red Pillar 44. And yeah, you get a taste of that show, just a little hors d'oeuvres and whatnot. The you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the starter, you know, that's the show right there that we just did yesterday. So go and check that out to just get an idea of what it is that you'll be getting on 3/22. All right. So let's go ahead and do the roll call. We got Hartford, Connecticut in the building. We got the Bronx in the building. We got Crenshaw in the building. We got Arizona in the building. Modesto, California in the building. West Virginia Territory. Virgin Islands. Melbourne, Australia. Seminole, Florida. Minneapolis, Minnesota. All right. Belize in the building. San Francisco. Dallas. Portland. San Jose, Clarksville, Tennessee. We have Power Born, London in it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I listened to the KTLians. I listened to the family when we brought B-Dell and Alkebalon on the first show. People was like, yo, y'all should make that they was like on a wish list if that was done, if it became a lecture, you know what I mean? So I was like, we're going to be doing a new installment of Fear of a Blackamoor Messiah. So, you know, why not bring the gods on that one right there and make a classic? And that's exactly what we're about to do on 3/22. So the rollout for that already has started. You know what I mean? We're in this era right now. It's gonna get real spooky outside. It's gonna get real spooky outside. All right, we got the Dominican Republic in the building. Shout out to the Dominican Republic. You feel me? Cali in the building. DMV in the building. We got Nashville in the building. Gibson, all right? BK to Augusta. Pinecrest. VA in the building. Massachusetts in the building. Shout out to Kansas City, Cape Verdes, West London in the building. Massachusetts. Greenwood in the building. Durham in the building. For my New Orleans for my North Carolina family, the ink is almost dry. And also for my Houston family, if I have family, if there's family from Houston or in the surrounding areas, or family from Charlotte, North Carolina, and those surrounding areas, if you're in the chat tonight, or if you watch this on a replay, just put it in the comments if you are down to come to a Melanin Monday IRL, because both of those places reached out to us, and we're about to close we're about to make it official, but we just want to put the feelers out there to see who's out here, in the audience. Madison, Wisconsin in the building, Flatbush in the building, Los Angeles in the building, Sanford in the building, Chicago in the building, Naptown in the building. All right, Detroit is in the building, Delaware, Charlotte, Texas. All right, Dallas in the building, Griffin in the building, Kokomo in the building. Man, when I do these shout outs from everybody, it's crazy. And that's why I do it almost every show, because as much as it's a roll call, it's also an appreciation type of thing. Like, as much as it's a roll call, it's a reality check for me every time I do on these shows, because it's like, I know how good we have it where I'm in Atlanta and I'm surrounded by a lot of consciousness. Like there's different outlets. If I wanted to go and listen to a lecture or listen to somebody teaching, there's places that I could go out here. When I was in New York, the same thing. I was plugged in, so I had outlets. But for people who are from some of the places that I'm speaking, that I'm calling out when they're tapped in to this YouTube show and whatnot, chances are they don't have that in their surrounding areas. So something that I would take for granted, you feel me? This is something that people really rely on and whatnot to tap in on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, for real, because if you're not surrounded by this type of information or this type of energy or this type of network, or just whatever this is, you know what I mean, whatever this is, whatever this, because this is consciousness. This is, this is a conscious platform. So this is the interaction with that energy, whatever that is, you know. So yeah, yeah. The what we call the digital, the evolution will be digitized, and what we call the fourth dimension, which is the digital realm, or what they would call the electrified age, right? Because there was the physical age, but there's the electrified age, and the electrified age is when everything went digital, and when everything went digital, it's when the world sort of in a way split in two, because you have this physical world that we all exist in, but you have this digital world that we also all exist in. Now in this digital world, it's been monetized. It's filled with data. It has AI connected to it. It has social media connected to it. It has algorithms connected to it. It has crypto coins, cryptocurrency connected to it. It has stocks, candles, and everything. People started getting bread off their phone, and in the physical real world, in the Malkuth world, in the 2D world, you didn't have access to even touch certain things, or to get into certain places, or to basically get a piece of certain pies. The minute it went on your phone and it got digital, and you got access to this fourth dimension, right, which is the digital realm, is cyberspace, but it's still a dimension. I exist in multiple dimensions, because literally I could be in Kroger's, I could be in Walmart, I could be in, Seven Nandas or whatever, just minding my business, shopping and, getting food to eat. But at that very moment, there's a video of me, there's some content of mine, there's some audio or visuals and whatnot, and somebody is interfacing with that, and it's either giving them an awakening, a disruption, eye opener. They're relating to something, or they're like, man, turn that shit off, man. Get that I don't know what they call it, what that hotep shit. I don't know what they're calling it these days. We're gonna talk about that as well too. I'm gonna have this conversation. But the advent of this YouTube, we're I don't know, like we're broadcasting. You're able to have people broadcast live. Like when I was coming up and you had to sit down and watch broadcast television, right? Broadcast television, CBS, ABC, NBC. If you wanted the news, you had to get it from Dan Rather and all of these other people. If you wanted the weather, you had to get it from Storm Weather, or whoever whatever the anchor person's name is, right? Now you live in a world where you have average, regular, anybody can broadcast to the globe at any time, from anywhere. And there's no restriction, there's no limit. There's every single person, the billions of people on the planet, could now connect and beam themselves into this digital world, into this new dimension, into this quote unquote electrified age. into the evolution where it's not ruled by the same quote unquote metrics, or it's not ruled by the same mathematical dimensions that the 3D world is ruled by. The 3D world is ruled by limited, is ruled by limitations and whatnot because of the fact that it's physical. Like a bottle of water could only a 2 liters worth of 2 liters worth of water could only fit in a 2 liter bottle, right? There's limits on it. A store like Tower Records can only carry a certain amount of records in it. So they can only highlight a certain amount of genres. There's only but so much shelf space just based off of the quote unquote, the just based off of doing the math of how much space is on these shelves and whatnot. That drastically and dramatically changed when the things like Spotify was introduced, iTunes was introduced, because it created what is known as the long tail, right? It took it from atoms to bits, right? Things went from atoms to bits. So when you change from atoms to bits, you change the whole you're completely changing the whole structure of how those quote unquote how things begin to interface. So now it's in bits. It basically can get, it's exponential, it can grow exponentially, it can scale exponential. That's what you have in this digital world, where all of a sudden, right? It was like this before, of course, because people was getting to wealth for a very long time. But you begin to see people get parabolic wealth when the quote unquote digital economy began to become a thing, because money's been digital for a long time. I'm talking about the digital economy with cryptocurrency, with stocks, with bonds, with tradings, with day trading. None of this was available. I mean, this was available. This was happening before the advent of phones and the advent of the internet, or the advent of this digital world that we exist in and whatnot, but not to this degree where it's right in your pocket. Come on, you know what I'm saying? LimeWire was original, yeah. You understand what I'm saying, right? So I don't think enough people have focused on the fact that we exist in multiple dimensions in the right and real. It's like a tesseract. We exist in more than one dimension at the same damn time. And it's very interesting. You know what I mean? And you can master all dimensions and whatnot. I guess that's ultimately the goal, you know. But for people who live in these small, who live in certain who domicile in certain places around the world, and they're exposed to information through the internet and not through, you know, or they may be surrounded by it, whatever the case, you know, it's just a beautiful thing that we're able to connect in real time around the world and speak to people in places where the light might not be that bright. It might not be hitting in certain areas. And when it's not hitting in certain areas, it could tend to be a little bit darker, or it might even be brighter. It really just depends on your personal perception. That sort of really matters at the end of the day. I my experiences are unique to me. Your experiences are unique to you. So whatever, you know what I mean, whatever you may experience. In other words, what you eat don't make me shit, and vice versa. What I eat don't make you shit. But yeah. But I say all of that to say shout out to everybody in the building and welcome, been a beautiful week, or strong for that matter, and whatnot. You said it's dense in the Midwest. Well, there's gonna be a day where you're gonna look around and you're gonna see people all around you in the area where you domicile. They're gonna be having conversations that you were having in the early days of your awakening. I promise you. You feel me? It's gonna happen eventually. Just, and we're in a quickening, so it might happen faster than you even know. Because two things are happening at the same time. People are waking up at a very, very fast pace, and MFers are going to sleep at maybe a faster pace. At the things are happening like literally like this, like how these planes are going, right? There's a collision taking place as well. But yeah, people are waking up. People are waking up. People are opening up their eyes. People are becoming aware of shit that's happening right in front of them. It's some eye opener things and whatnot. Man, talk about some eye opener shit, right? Today, a story came out that a central figure in my childhood fantasy experience, memory bank, right? The actor Gene Hackman made transition or was found unalived. And to make matters even more strange, it was him, his wife, and the dog. Now, for the young whippersnappers that are in the building and whatnot, who may not be familiar with a Gene Hackman and never knew, you might have thought, I don't know, you might think Gene Hackman is a wrestler. No, but Gene Hackman is a white man who's always been in one of these movies that I remember watching, but two or three of some of his most famous roles that people know him from is Lex Luthor. Okay, he was the notorious Lex Luthor in any 70s or 80s baby who grew up watching Christopher Reeves as Superman and was able to watch all three Superman movies. If that's you, if that's you out there, then what I'm saying, we cut from some of the same cloth. He was 95 years old. That's an interesting thing. You know what I mean? He aged like bro. I had to think about putting his picture on the screen because there's this thing in Hollywood where they make sure that you don't see their quote unquote the pictures of them, I guess, without the adrenochrome, because they age horribly. So the thing in public relations is to not to let you see the presidents, especially when they become rather old and senile, as this with the case of Jimmy Carter. The last picture of him on the internet, some was hideous, right? It was like you should have never let that picture leak out and whatnot. The image that people want to maintain of men of power and prestige, right, is them in their most youthful, vigorous depictions and whatnot. Henceforth, while people have portraits painted of them and they say sprinkle a little bit of sauce, you know what I'm saying? They be like, add some Photoshop to that. They were using Photoshop all the way back then. You know what I mean? Their Photoshop was Caesar Bourgeois. Their Photoshop was Michelangelo. Their Photoshop was whoever went into Kemet and start touching them pictures up and making them lighter. Their Photoshop is all of them Peckerwoods from the Age of Enlightenment, who lightened up all of the artwork, who lightened up all of the pictures and anglicized the quote unquote the great ones. And they basically they anglicized all of the artwork. So they have statues made in their images. All of that shit in the museums is Photoshop. Them niggas, them Romans didn't even look like that. You know what I mean? It's Photoshop. It's like when they came out with the movie 300 and they photoshopped the Spartans to make them look like something that they probably never looked like. They Zack Snydered it. You know what I mean? Zack Snyder is the Photoshop of cinema. And so is like Michael Mann. Them niggas are like living Photoshops. They're like, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like the way that they juice things up, the way that they sprinkle their sauce, the Hype Williams of this shit, bro. Remember what Hype Williams did to videos? Remember that sauce that Hype Williams sprinkled on cinema, on regular videos, and turned them shits into movies? Yeah. Yeah, now they got AI doing shit like that. But that's a source. That's a skill. That's a skill that you gotta that if you're an engineer, you turn that into an algorithm. You could turn those skills into algorithms and get rich off of stuff like that. You feel me? You know? That sauce, that shit that they be sprinkling Chris Nolan. You feel me? With the use of Hans Zimmerman in the with the score. Shit is chef's kiss. You know what I mean? You're able to tell stories. Enemy of the State with Gene Hackman. You feel me? Mississippi Burning with Gene Hackman. You know what I mean? The French Connection with Gene Hackman. Like he did his thing. He did his thing. I gotta show his picture though, because you know what I mean? Fuck that. They show our picture. I gotta show his picture. But don't let them show your picture though. When you know what I mean? Don't let them show. You gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta keep your image up. Cause if you don't want your last picture to look like this is Gene Hackman, y'all. This is Gene Hackman. Look what COVID is doing to niggas. This is the last picture of Gene Hackman. Him and his wife. He had a wife who was like younger than him. She was holding it down. You feel me? You know, trained to take care of man, take care of husband. And they went to the other side together. But yeah, my dude was 95. You know what I mean? So he was aging in white years. He was aging on European terms. We don't have nothing to do with that. You feel me? We don't got nothing to do with that. That's something that they got to take up with. That's why they out here with the AI that could create DNA now. They got the CRISPR, the DNA kits. They ready to get you nigga, give a nigga a bag to come up and invent some shit that can help them keep looking young and vigorous. That's one of their kryptonites. That the milk melts, the ice gets unspicy. The ice, the milk, the milkshake spoils, man. You feel me? It said he looked like Lex Luger, my nigga. Man. And the next worst thing is if y'all could dig up some racist tweets. You know what I mean? If y'all could dig up some racist tweets, we could go a little bit further in on homie. But until then, I'm gonna back off. I'm gonna just say that, yo, 95, I guess. You know, but if y'all could dig up some, if we could dig up some racist tweets, man, we could go further. We could go in. In other news, yeah, his dog didn't deserve that. I mean, goddamn it, this let the dog live, man. Come on, fam. They said that they were mummified. Yo, if you do the Google researches, and I'm not into the MAGA shit. My hat say Naga and not MAGA, but they are clapping. They're knocking off a lot of these quote unquote Hollywood people are getting clipped, bro. This Trump shit is on another level, man. If they're unhinged in public, right, on live TV, if the president and all of and Elon is on ketamine, if these niggas is unhinged he's unhinged with other world leaders, what are they doing behind the scenes? And they running shit right now, fam. They are clipping a lot of these people, bro. That is a fact. They are watching. They just like, yo, drip the stories because they finding niggas. Like, he's like the third person that they found already dead type shit. They're finding niggas and they're like, yo, drip the stories on a 30-day cycle. Like, just drip 3 actors a week, and then on 1 week give them 5, and then on the next week drip 3 or 4. They're just dripping this shit because it be tweets and whatnot where they be like, yo, I'm sorry to announce the passing of this person who died in October, and it be like March. And you be like, come on, fam. Like, did y'all forget to tell somebody what the fuck is going on? Mad Hollywood people, both young and old, is getting clipped daily. The girl, they just had the girl. I'm not into, I think it was Gossip Girl, right? She died yesterday. She was like 30 something. It's mad 30-year-old people dying in Hollywood. Roberta Flack died. Dude from one of the Osley brothers, who was a writer. The fuck? It's mad people. And I'm not saying that Trump is out there riding down on the Osley brothers. But some of these people is getting knocked off. You feel me? The movie that shows everything is Michael Clayton. They show you the play and Michael Clayton. They came in the crib. They put some shit to to make the person collapse, laid them down, shot some shit through the heel of their foot, put them in a tub, and voila. The Epstein list does not come out tomorrow. They handed that shit out today. And it was a blank page, bro. It wasn't blank pages. It was retracted pages, right? From shit that people already saw, right? And they said it was his phone book and everything was blacked out. And they put it in the hands of, guess who? Influencers, not journalists. They invited influencers. DC Drano, a nigga that I follow on Instagram. They invited influencers and people who they handpicked. And then they gave them these quote unquote binders that was really just for content and whatnot. Right? So they have the integrity of journalism has now been completely washed because one of the biggest stories in all of media, right? For because people were waiting for the Epstein list for a very long time. It's allegedly supposed to expose and and uncover so many things that have been hidden about people in very high places, leading all the way up to the highest ranks in government and in the quote unquote unroyal family, right? And then they hand it out to influencers who don't even post the contents of the book online. Yes, and then they put out a tweet that Cash Patel, get used to hearing that name, Cash Patel. You know what I mean? And you can make a farm schemes with that, so his shit is gonna be popping. But Cash Patel ordered that the whole thing be dropped tomorrow, right? Don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath, right? Don't play into the Hegelian. There's a play taking place. I would say fall back. Don't play into the soap opera. Become an observer. Watch this shit. But be very aware that this is a psyops going down. They're not going to give up the people that really supposed to. It's like they're investigating themselves, y'all. Make no mistake about it. They're investigating themselves. This is one of those Scooby-Doo episodes where they pull a mask off and it's them niggas. Okay? It's mad pictures with Trump and Epstein. Let's be clear. Once again, don't fall into this this crystal method, this crystal meth version of a trailer park consciousness that people went down this quote unquote QAnon rabbit hole. You switch lanes one day on the information highway and winded up on Rumble or on these goddamn quote unquote rabbit holes where you're being fed wild disinformation and you're being radicalized into a MAGA mind state, a MAGA maggot mind state. You are off course. You are off course. And some niggas, you know, you can't dance with the devil. Your footwork is not that good to where you could even walk in that world and not get tripped up. And I'm not saying that there's people that can't do it, because of course there's people who could waltz through that whole thing. They could tap dance through that whole goddamn ensemble and come back with information and come back unscathed and whatnot. But that's not for everybody. That shit serves us no. I mean, I'm staying true to the teachings of the people who taught me, and everybody else is for observation, for analyzing and whatnot. Look, they got AI these days. There's so many ways that you could cross-reference and analyze a lot of this bullshit that people are expounding and whatnot, and you know, and trying to and push it to people like it's facts. It's not. I'm standing with the master teachers. I'm not fucking with that MAGA shit. I'm not rocking with none of that stuff that they be talking about. In my humble opinion, they like, oh, we're looking for the child traffickers. They the child traffickers. You feel me? It's that scene. It's that Spider-Man meme where everybody's pointing. All of the Spider-Mans are pointing at each other. All of that. We gonna save take over save the children from the tunnels and whatnot. Lies, nigga. They're trying to take over those operations. It's all about stealing trade routes. So they're going after the cartel because they want to take the trade over. They want that whole trade for themselves. They're just gangsters who take over trade routes and take over blocks and take over quote unquote customers and shit like that. They kill off the middleman and they become the plug and whatnot. Don't get fooled. Don't get tricked. It's the same people chasing. It's people investigating their own selves, right? The only people that's really gonna uncover this shit and solve this motherfucking case and crack these cold cases theoretically would be the chosen ones. You know, it would be the chosen ones. And at this point in the game, the chosen ones are saving the people by, you know, helping them to see that they're chosen, right? Because they're focusing on the chosen ones. And everybody else is basically watching like it's Netflix, and it's okay. You know what I'm saying? This world is a stage. And as long as they paying their subscription fee, then they could watch. And their subscription fee is their eyeballs. You know what I mean? So we out here doing what we doing for the people, connecting to doing this and doing that. And there's a whole bunch of people that watch us on YouTube. That's why I don't chase YouTube numbers. It's irrelevant because there was a report that came out today that said 56% of the internet are bots. So what the fuck does that mean? That means that can somebody pull that article up? I might just have to pull it up myself so we could show you it in black and white. 67% of all traffic on the internet is already AI. It's not even real. It's bots. You're not even talking to humans half of the time, y'all. So the convergence has already somewhat in so many ways have taken place where, yes, the dead is Google dead internet theory confirmed. Yes, Google, the dead internet theory has been confirmed. The story came out, I saw it today, that you're not even dealing with a real life interface anymore. You're already plugged into the matrix in certain ways because you've given energy, you've argued back and forth, you woke up with certain things on your mind about what something said, a comment that was made, an email that you might have received, a reply that you got, a DM that you got and whatnot. Whole time it was a bot, right? Whole time it was a whole bot. 67% of top news sites block AI chatbots, right? Yes, the Borg Collective is in effect. I believe it was Lennon Honor who did the Borg series many years ago, maybe like 2012 on the internet before it was filled with so much content, so much data, right? Because remember, there was mad data on YouTube and it disappeared. If they erased it from you seeing it, but don't think that it just got erased because it didn't get erased. Those people could run AI on any video and the AI will tell them the contents of the video like this. And there's a certain meter to the content to be like, nah, this content is golden, like a gold bar, like a Bitcoin, right? They have AI that could read the text of what you're saying in the video, and it would be like the worth of this video is worth a Bitcoin versus a video that's worth like a Satoshi coin, because it don't have no worth to it just based off of the analyzing of the text. It's like, nah, this is bad. This is psychobabble, and this is some fourth grader shit. Then there's videos where they're like, yo, this is God tier conversation. They're breaking shit down. There's equations in this. There's code in this language, in this conversation. There's lexicon. This lexicon that these videos contain have unlocking principles. Quantum conversations are taking place. Quantum, they're exploring quantum concepts, right? Quantum concepts. That's why they say ye are rich, and that's why they say that they're selling your data for mad money, but you might not be aware of that quote unquote market. You might not be aware of that niche. You might not be aware of the monetization aspect of what that means, right? You may be lost. You're just hearing it. Oh, data is the new gold. Oh, data is the new oil, and you're just letting that shit fly by like whatever, and you're not realizing that you are the data that they're talking about. I know how much data that I've expounded. I know how much data I've shared. I know what my data is. I know how forward thinking and how quote unquote ahead of I know how futuristic, my quote unquote data is. And remember, everything has metadata attached to it. So proof of work is in the pudding. The proof of work has metadata. It's already time stamped, right? So if Proof of work means that if you were talking about something in 2010 that has a lot of worth today, then your data is rich. Your data is richer than somebody who started talking about that same topic in 2020, because you have proof of work that you're a pioneer, that you started the conversation, that you began the narrative, that you started the thread, that you were the one who basically mined the quote unquote Bitcoin, in a sense. Like you were the one who mined that coin, and then that coin begins to grow, and it has offshoots of it, right? But if you're somebody who created a concept, who came with a concept, who brought a new concept to the table, a new equation, a new formula, because remember, not only are we some of the greatest inventors that the USA has ever seen, and I have the proof to prove it. I got the receipts. I got the 100 inventors. I got it. You know what I'm talking about? There's nothing that they could tell us at this point. Not only do I got the 100 inventors, but I have every single invention and what it's worth today in today's monetary terms, right? And whatever, because remember, when it came to Black people with our inventions, we were laying the groundwork. We are the master nodes and whatnot. So we're creating shit is getting created from, that creates other things that are worth trillions and billions of dollars. Come on, fam. And nobody is adding up the fucking ticket. Nobody is adding up the ticket. Yo, I'm talking about it exceeds, and this is not asking for reparations. This is not shaking a cup. This is not talking about what somebody owes us. No, this is adding up the valuation of what our inventions are producing, and then getting our tax for that. That's what we're doing. Nigga, I need my tax for that. You know what I'm talking about? Like we're responsible for the machine that's running the world right now. Like, what are we talking about? Y'all didn't teach. If you didn't teach us this in school, and you didn't teach us this in a school that I paid for, you didn't teach us this in a school that I'm paying tuition, and you conveniently left out that there was a place called Haiti, North Carolina, where it was the Black Wall Street of North Carolina, and they had inventors there, and they had businesses there, and they had quote unquote entertainers, and they had banks, and they had hospitals, they had Black nurses. You didn't tell me about Wilmington and what happened with the Wilmington massacre. You didn't tell me about all of these places. You didn't tell me about the 100 Black inventors. I didn't find out about the Black inventors. Let's go through some names of the Black inventors. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, no. Let me go ahead and pull up the video of the Black inventors. I could do even better. You know what I'm talking about? The evolution to be digitized. We got AI now. The AI do the work for us. Check this out. Check out our worth, y'all. This is all us. That's like they want to take this out of schools. We got to take this into our own hands and homeschool our children, after school programs and stuff like that, to teach these children their real history. I know why they don't want them children to know some of this stuff, because, yeah.
Welcome to our journey through history, celebrating the incredible contributions of Black inventors from the 1800s to today. These pioneers reshaped American life and industries with their innovations. Get ready to have your appreciation for human ingenuity expanded. Let's start in the late 18th century with Benjamin Banneker. A self-taught mathematician and astronomer, he crafted America's first entirely wooden clock. Banneker also played a key role in surveying the land that would become Washington, D.C. talk about shaping a nation. Our next stop is 1821, where we meet Thomas L. Jennings. Jennings wasn't just a tailor, he was a problem solver. He invented a groundbreaking dry cleaning process and became the first black person in the US to receive a patent. This wasn't just about clean clothes, it was about breaking barriers. Fast forward to 1885, where we encounter Sarah E. Good. Good invented the folding cabinet bed, a game changer for urban dwellers. She became the first black woman to receive a US patent. Her invention was a testament to her ingenuity. Good defied expectations and illuminated the path for future generations. Chapter 4. Lewis Latimer, Illuminating the Path to Progress. Latimer improved Edison's light bulb by inventing a longer-lasting carbon filament. His innovation brightened our homes and extended our days. Chapter 5. Elijah McCoy, the real McCoy of innovation. McCoy invented a system for automatic lubrication of steam engines, enhancing efficiency and safety. His invention was so impactful that people began asking for the real McCoy. Chapter 6. Granville T. Woods, the unsung hero of communication. Woods pioneered communication technology with the multiplex telegraph. This device allowed trains to communicate wirelessly, preventing accidents. Woods's invention wasn't just about sending messages, it was about saving lives. Garrett Morgan made our world safer and more organized. He invented the modern gas mask and the three-light traffic signal. Morgan's contributions shaped the flow of modern life. Jan Ernst Matzeliger revolutionized the shoe industry with his shoe-lasting machine. His invention made shoes more affordable and accessible. Matzeliger's work improved working conditions and everyday necessities. Finally, we celebrate Madam C.J. Walker. Walker developed a line of hair care products for black women, creating a thriving business. Her story is a testament to identifying a need and pursuing a solution. Walker's legacy is about self-reliance and economic empowerment. As we conclude our journey, remember these are just a few stars in a vast constellation of brilliance. These inventors broke barriers and paved the way for future generations. Thank you for joining us in celebrating these remarkable individuals.
I got a few of those that I made, man. I made that. Took me about an hour. You feel me? I made that. I'm like, I wanted to have the white voice, the same voice that lied to me and told me that that my people didn't contribute nothing, that my people was scary and my people was quote unquote weak and whatnot. I'm gonna make that in the voice of an Asian. I'm gonna have that speaking a language of a Korean and whatnot. Then I'm gonna have that in Spanish and whatnot. I'm also gonna have it in Nigerian, and I'm also gonna have it in a Ghanaian voice, and I'm gonna send it to Africa, and I'm gonna be like, yo, I want the family to watch that. I want the family in Jamaica to watch that. I want people who rock with our culture to watch that. I want y'all to know these names like y'all know Meech and Cuffy. You know what I mean? Like you know about the Killers, like you know about the gangsters and whatnot. You feel me? I want these stories to get out there, because think about it. If y'all homeschoolers, y'all need to get at me. Real talk. Just get at me if y'all homeschoolers. On the best way to get at me is through I have a whole page right here on Buy Me a Coffee, right? We will set it up to whereas I will make the specific, I have a design team. This is what we're doing at Edgewood and whatnot. We're making content at Edgewood, digital assets. I have a whole team, and we will open up a contract with you, and we will get the digital learning curriculum thing popping right now, because these children, they remember when we used to be in school and they would bring the TV and they would show us something and we would get to close the books and watch the TV. We're at that phase now to whereas we can show them what we want to show them on the TV. We got big screen TVs. We got plasma on the wall TVs. We got roll in the room TVs. We got tablets. Boom. They'll never know. you're injecting your information in these videos. I'm showing you black inventors. I could show you anything that's in the curriculum, whether it's the Kemetic gods as elements, whether it's the Moors, whatever it may be, because we have to allow our homeschoolers to teach the way that they teach, and we provide the visuals, and we provide context, and we provide the quote unquote script and everything that you may need from that perspective. We'll be able to assist you with that. So I think y'all should take full advantage of that, because we literally are in a day where you can create anything that you want for any occasion. There's no limits, there's no restrictions. There is literally nothing in the way of anyone's creativity, their quote unquote vision, or their goals. And I don't want them to sound cliche-ish, because there might be somebody watching this that's locked up and be like, damn, Red, that sound good and everything, but I'm locked up. And I would say to that person is locked up, nigga, my G, you got even more of a chance. You got even more of an opportunity than we do, because you're somewhere where you don't have to pay rent. You're somewhere where you can lock yourself into solitude and get busy. You're somewhere where, you don't have to worry about bills, the burden of how to eat, everything is being provided for you, and you have time. So there's 4 things that you can do. You can, because y'all got access to mobiles, right? Y'all got access to phones. You got, because if you're listening to me, then you got access to electronics, day trading, stocks trading, crypto DeFi trading. You can get on all of the quote unquote platforms where you could sell your skills through Fiverr, through Upwork, through things like that. So you could be stacking bread. You could be teaching yourself with all of the free courses that they got in right now. You could have subscriptions with all of the AI companies, and you could be making thousands of designs, and you could be selling shirts all on Shopify. You could put together 100, you could make 100 apps right now with Claude 3.7 that just came out the other day, to whereas you literally can code, and you could prompt, no code needed. You could prompt an app right now using Claude 3.7. So that which was once a negative has now been turned into a positive, because that time that you got, you could turn that into a positive. So even if they lock the body, they can't trap the mind. So even if they lock the body, they can't trap the mind. You understand? So don't even fall to that. Now, if you are like, yo, Red, I'm homeless, I don't have the opportunity to do none of that, the majority of the tools that are available are free. You have access to the Obama phone, which will give you access to the web, which will give you access to all of these free tools. And then boom, you learn a skill, and then you put your skills on Fiverr, on any of the gig platforms. You offer your skill to the world, because there's 8 billion people in the world. If you learn a skill, everybody don't learn the skill that you learned at the same time that you learned it. So now you're an asset to the people who need your skill, who one, don't have the time to learn that shit. They don't want to learn it. They just want something to be done, and they will pay you to do it. They're looking for somebody to pay, because this is how they have been conditioned to do things. Everybody don't have to learn everything in order to get it done. So if you find yourself in a place where you can provide, then you have to develop a skill where people are looking for your expertise. You have to fill a void. Once you learn a skill and you fill a void, you fill a cup, my nigga. You fill a cup. You know what I mean? And we live in a world where there's 99 problems, and people are still in need of skills. Don't let that stupid shit about AI taking jobs scare you. No, my nigga, learn that AI shit and get to your bag before that dries up, because everything else is drying up. So it's people standing in a river that's drying up, talking about the rivers drying up, whereas there's a whole ocean over there filling up. It's being filled up and whatnot. You better go over there and get wet, my nigga. You know what I'm talking about? You better go and get wet and get in that ocean and get how much water or how much quote unquote nourishment that you could get, so you could fill up another lake or another quote unquote river with that water, because it's going down and it's not as spooky as they would try to make it appear. Do not fall for the okie doke. You know what I mean? Don't fall for the okie doke. They got us stuck on a lot of the hood gossip. They got us stuck on the lower frequency gossiping, small talking. It's mad small talking going on. I could get on here. Like, if I really wanted my channel to grow, y'all, nah, this is some real shit. This is what I fight with sometimes. I'm just being transparent. Like, if I wanted my channel to grow, if I wanted KTL, because I'm gonna keep it a buck for you. I like to look at numbers. I'm a numbers man. You know what I mean? I like, men lie, women lie. I'm in a digital age. So the numbers mean something. So yeah, to have 100,000 subscribers, I want that. To 500,000, maybe. I like going to channel and seeing that they got that 1 million. You know what I'm talking about? I like that. But that's the ego talking, because it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality, bro. It's about the quality. And they got niggas chasing these numbers, like, and I'm here to let you know, 67% of the internet is not even real. I'm gonna pull that article up while I'm talking. Let me show you this shit so we don't even think. Let's make sense of this shit. Right? Let's make sense of it. They'd be like, it's not a real place. Yeah, I'm gonna have to Google it in a minute. So I could have chased, those sensational headlines. Like, when anything happens during the day, I go live and I'm like, yo, the Jeff Epstein papers are being released, and talk about it for like 15, 20 minutes and then get off. Like, that's they say that's how you grow your channel. You talk about some of the hot button topics and the things that are trending for the day and whatnot. But that's something, like, to me, that's chasing that tail. That's chasing the tail. That's not what I want to do. I don't want to be a reactionary YouTube person. It's too much of that. You know what I mean? I don't want to be a reactionary nigga on YouTube that's just reacting to, to breaking news and whatnot. I could do that, but that's not something that I want to do. That's definitely not something that I want to do. So it's like, oh, son. Yeah. Code. Oh, I like that. Code breaking news. Code breaking news. I like that. I like that. Chatty Patty is all over. Yeah, like, The chatty patty shit all over YouTube is my timeline on YouTube right now is hard. Is disgusting. You know, it's disgusting. Like people are literally talking about mad low frequency, gossipy, chatty patty, this drug dealer versus this person, this gang banger, this street dude, this killer, this person accused of killing, little baby got a warrant. You know, we're gonna talk about that. And it's like we talk about that on the show. So I'm not gonna sit on here and act like we don't touch on like hood topics and whatnot. And we don't because I know certain stories that are gonna go viral. I like to get ahead of it, and I like to give people a hot, a little heads up. So when you see that shit on your timeline and when it starts going viral, you at least can make sense of it because we talked about it. You know what I mean? We demystified it before it even caught legs and started going crazy and going viral. We tend to do that, you know. So I'm going to speak more so about these creators. You know what I mean? Like I showed you those inventors and whatnot. That's a good balance. You know what I mean? That's a good balance. That's a great way to balance things. Everything, it's a balancing act. You know, it's a balancing act because we do cover the culture, and we do cover the death of the culture, and we do cover the quote unquote the lethargic state of the culture. We are on death watch. Watch the Party Die was it wasn't just a song, it was a statement, and it was also a command and whatnot. And that's something that we answered that calling, right? And we were like, yo, we're gonna stand post and whatnot, and we'll be one of those outlets and we'll be one of those platforms that are gonna watch the party die. You know what I'm saying? And that's right in alignment with the teaching that we were doing prior to that song even coming out with the series The Great Fall, When in Rome. All of these are in alignment with the message. Everything that Kendrick is rapping about, damn near word for word, bar for bar, everything that man is standing for as an artist. I don't care who the person is because I'm not into personal worship and whatnot. I'm not here to deify man. It's the artist that I speak on. It's the artist that I highlight. It's the artistic artist expression, because the artist is the alter ego. Y'all get caught up a lot with the person and not the alter ego, and people crucify. They it's hard to really differentiate the two, right? But I don't think people realize that there's the artist and then there's the person. Sometimes you'll see the person in the street and it's not necessarily the artist, but it looked like the artist, but they're in the mode of the person. And it's like, I'm not in artist mode right now. Like, I don't want to fucking sign your autograph. You know what I'm talking about? I'm literally like with my children, That's not me per se, but that's how certain people feel because, it's the artist, you know? And interesting things are happening in interesting places, you know? So we do highlight all aspects of the story from different corners of it because in so many ways it's all related. Okay, from the shit that's going on in the streets, right, that people are gossiping about, from the shit that's going on the internet and on social media that's going viral, that's on a lot of people's consciousness, to the things that are not spoken of, that are taking place in private, all the way to the things that are going on in the unseen. it's all connected. There's all a throughway, and it's all related. Henceforth, why you get different perspectives from blue pill's point of view, and then you get it from red pill's point of view. We're just on a spectrum. You know, we're on a spectrum. Okay. So you get different quote unquote frequencies, or you get different channels from that polarity. You know, so on some hood shit to keep things balanced, on episode number 6, 50 Cent versus Big Meech, it seems that they formed Voltron, and it's it's they're ganging up on 50 Cent. I'm seeing a lot of tables being turned as well for a lot of people. Cameron's tables are being turned, 50 Cent's tables are being turned. People are joining up, forming up. Little Baby's tables are being turned. Something interesting took place with him, and we've been highlighting the descent that Atlanta has gone into over the past few years, where they squandered their culture by mixing it up with gang culture, and by mixing it up with negativity, and by mixing it up with low frequency nigga shit, and by mixing it up with CIA funded federal operations. You know? And one of the latest artists who I feel is about to get the Rico, right? Because it is what it is, you know what I mean? This is it's one of those things. Is the artist Little Baby, right? And they're tying him to a retaliatory shooting that took place that claimed the lives of a 12 and a 13-year-old from his neighborhood. You know, that hip hop that, and I'm not being, but the scene in Atlanta, the frequency in Atlanta, the culture in Atlanta, what Atlanta is known for musically in the next few years, it's not going to be what it was. As you see, the culture literally has broken up, and that would be the Migos with the death of Takeoff, right? Remember, they were the culture. They came out with Culture 1, Culture 2, Culture 3, symbolically. And the death of Takeoff, things haven't even been the same in Atlanta, and even in that whole genre that they were dominating. You know? They got babies out here. It's a little, the stakes are a little higher, because it's not even, it's the adults that are under the spell, right? But it's really the babies that are under the spell. They got the babies active at very young ages and whatnot, and they banging hard. You feel me? They banging hard. You know? And yeah, I don't, you know what I mean? There's a lot of videos that are surfacing online that going viral that are showing some of these young YNs in court waking up to the reality of what this video game that they're playing when they put them on pause for life, and it's game over, right? They have these videos floating around where they're showing a lot of YNs meeting their fate from decisions that they're making and whatnot. But it's only going to get worse if the culture continues to promote the most negative frequencies, the most negative aspects, the most negative thought patterns, thought forms, the most dehumanizing, devalued lyrics and shit like that. And, you know, I feel personally, spiritually, that since 2020, since that portal opened after the Great Conjunction, remember the Great Conjunction in 2020, right? And then you had Pluto return the next in a few years after that on 2/22/22, right? Portals were opened up. Portals were opened up. The neutrinos that hit this planet activated some of us to quote unquote wake up to our God self, but it definitely activated some of us to wake up to uh our anti or our demonic selves. Henceforth, why demon time grew legs and went crazy from 2020 moving on. Remember, even with through the Chief Keef era and whatnot, right? It wasn't them necessarily saying that they're on demon time. They wasn't invoking that whole energy. It was that mostly came during the Pop Smoke era, and you know that came through the Pop Smoke era. That came through New York drill. Not to say that it wasn't popping in other places, but they really took that demon time. And then you see what happened to Pop Smoke immediately. His star didn't even get to rise like that. His shit got snuffed out immediately, right? And they were summoning that demon time, and niggas was turned, and it turned so many demons out, and it's created. It's almost like a gremlin effect. It's almost like a gremlin. Yes, we have a powerful planetary alignment tomorrow, right? Powerful planetary alignment. And as low as shit is going, it's only me as the red pill giving you highlight of it, because that's literally the opposite of how high it is too. Keep that in mind. Sometimes you got to talk about how low shit may go, because there's a heights that this shit is also going. But you can't measure the two without knowing the two. You know, on Ramadan, right? So we are talking about one of the most powerful days of this calendar year, right? So Fabio was the one that, but that was during the Pop Smoke era, right? Fabio comes out of the Pop Smoke era, not the other way around. Okay. So yeah, he was the one that pushed that. And yeah, demons are walking on the earth. And we are the demon slayers, you know. And not only are we the demon slayers and whatnot, because keep in mind, you could slay a demon by cutting off the head of whatever, you know, cutting off the proverbial head of them and waking them up to their true self. From nigga to God. So even by demon slaying somebody, you just giving them the red pill, right? Because when you're in your quote unquote monkey brain, or when you're in your knuckle dragger, or when you're in your caterpillar state, or when you're in your sleep state, or when you're in your zombie state, you're a demon. You're a gremlin. You're a super gremlin. You're on demon time. But every demon is a star. You know? Shit, Malcolm X was on demon time as Detroit Red. You know what I'm talking about? When he was Detroit Red, he was on demon time. So there's a lot of people who are like great right now. They're on their God shit. They're on their, you know, they on their dean and whatnot, but they went through that process. They went through that chemical romance. They went through that change. They were caterpillars. They went through the chrysalis. They were in cells and whatnot, in dark cells in the shoe. They was in a box like DFW. Don't let this nigga from the BX trouble you. Bars. So, you know, this is the path that a lot of people take. I'm not here to judge man. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not here to judge man. I know that man is on his hero's journey. I'm just in the audience. You didn't go to the movie and judge the motherfucking actor on the screen and whatnot. So it's the same thing. We're all on a stage. We're all actors in our own movie. You feel me? And the real you is whoever the fuck you are when you take that mask off in the comfort of your home. And not too many people know that person. Not too many people know that person. You know, that person is reserved for his or her loved ones. The things that your child could say to you and could do to you, and the way that you expose your true self to your loved ones, like your wife and your child, you wouldn't dare do that in the real world because that would make you too vulnerable. You know what I'm talking about? You put on your armor when you leave your castle. You put on your armor when you step out and whatnot. You don't have to wear your armor inside of your castle. Hopefully not. Yeah, this is the 9. This is the snake year. Universal 9 year. It's time to shake some things. So tomorrow will be a great day to do that. I'm going to pledge myself on a journey. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to take myself to another place. I'm going to get on a spaceship and travel outside of this planet. You know, we owe it to ourselves, especially with the planets in alignment. You owe it to yourself to leave the planet tomorrow. You know, figuratively speaking. I don't want nobody to do anything to themselves that they can't come back to the planet. We need you to be able to come back to the planet to implement the instructions and to implement the quote unquote, you know, the gems that were provided to you. Yeah, I'm talking about tomorrow. Tomorrow is the alignment. 7 planets will align. And it's the 28th, the last day of this month. You know what I'm talking about? Make it count. You know, make it count. Everything is lined up in your favor. Everything is lined up in your favor. So take full advantage. A lot of people were leaving the planet this strong, right? Roberta Flack, right? A lot of people were getting on that ship. Roberta Flack, my dude from the Isleys. They was getting on that ship. They was like, all right, we good. We out of here. Of course, you could get out of the planet sober. Of course, you could do it through breathing. You could get off of the planet. However, Miss Wallace got up out of here. Valletta left. Gene Hackman, his wife, and the dog, my nigga. Like Bounty Killer said, me kill your dog and your kitty. Yeah, the whole, like this was the 18th dynasty. They got up out of here. Will you be able to see the alignment? Yes. Neely Fuller got up out of here. And your grandfather, Lonnie Fuller, condolences, yes. Roberta Flack made transition. She was in her 80s, I believe. So when you see that happen and then there's 7 planets aligned, just know that it's similar. Just think how Elon is talking about going to Mars and whatnot. right? Yeah, you do it every night. Exactly. You do it every night. You die every night. You don't know if you're going to come back into your avatar. This is an avatar. This is a spacesuit that you're in. Do not be consumed by the flesh like that. Don't be so gassed up on this machine. This is a vehicle. The human body is a vehicle. It's a machine. It's human intelligent design. It's a spacesuit similar to the movie Avatar with Jake Scully, and he was inside of the Blue Navy's spacesuit so he can navigate on Pandora, on that planet. The Earth is similar to that. There's different planets that we navigate through, but we have to navigate in different spacesuits. There's a spacesuit for Mars, and it's not this spacesuit. This spacesuit is specifically designed for this planet only. There's a spacesuit that's designed for the inner world, and it's not this spacesuit that we're wearing right now. Okay? What ritual can you do tomorrow? Spiritual bath. You know what I mean? You could have a ceremony, a dance. You could go out. How you know, in the comfort of how you go out. You could stargaze. You know what I'm talking about? You could go on a date. You know? You could go on a date. You could have breathing meditations. And Roberta Flack was 88. Feel me? Roberta Flack was 88. Light a candle. Pay homage to the ancestors. Put out some fruits and whatnot. It's Friday. It's a powerful day. We said listen to Nas Ether tomorrow. Yeah, we'll play some jazz. Play some soul music. Play some planetary music. Play some Sun Ra. You feel me? Play music of ancestors, people that have left us. I would just start light like that, and then, you know, you'll have things come to you. Be alert. So when it comes to you, you know what's coming to you. Some Fela, some Miles, some Sun Ra, some Coltrane, some binaural beats. Try to wear linen if you can. Try to wear some linen or wool if you have wool, or wool. Don't mix it with cotton. Visualize. They have vision boards, right? We said it on Techno Tuesday. Create vision boards. And if you're a coder and whatnot, you could take it even further. If you're a developer, a designer, a coder, or programmer, shit, you could create virtual worlds that are like your vision board. You could take it that far. You could create virtual worlds that are like vision boards. Andre 3000 flute album, Charge Your Crystals, Alice Coltrane, James Brown. You feel me? James Brown, some Gil Scott Heron. That's a playlist right there, y'all. I would play some Midnight, some Benjamin Vaughn. Lil Baby got arrested. He just got arrested. Roy Ayers, right? Roy Ayers. Lonnie Liston Smith. Some Bob Marley and the Wailers. Like, that's how we start out the ritual. And that's going to do what? That's going to start the dance ritual, right? So the dance ritual, first is the sonics, right? First there was the sound and word. There was the word, but then along with the word, because the word produces sound, first there was the sound. So you set up the sound bed, you set up the soundtrack. You don't have nothing if you don't have a soundtrack to it. So you set up the soundtrack. You start making love to the music from Rising type shit. No dark clothing. Yeah, I'm talking about. You want to start. Yeah, you want to cleanse your surroundings with the Sonics 44 Tops. Play the 44 Tops album. Facts. You could play the album on Bandzoogle too for the free 99. If anybody want to just listen to it, you could right there. You can access the album and listen to it. Pharoah Sanders, Chant Words of Power, Earth, Wind, and Fire. You want to smudge the whole surrounding, smudge that shit, smoke it out. Some Jimi Hendrix, some Marvin Gaye, some Sam Cooke, some George Duke. You are setting the tone, right? You're setting the tone sonically. You're creating a sound bed, a sonic bed, right? And by that, you have a foundation to which you can manifest and you could create from. It's going to create dopamine. Then, if you get into the dance ritual or the dance ceremony, or you get into dance and you begin to move and you start your twirling dervish shit, you start creating Toro fields and whatnot, that even expedites manifestation. Okay. That even brings it into more manifestation. So while doing such, while being in the moment and whatnot, then you start getting your downloads, right? Then you start getting your downloads and whatnot. And then your downloads could either be put on paper or you could put it in one of those you could capture it on voice notes and whatnot. Hendrix, Stevie Wonder, Frankie Beverly and Mays. Clean your home, get organized. Some Parliament. Manifest your intentions, George Duke. All right. Y'all supposed to do this every day religiously, not just on an alignment, but I digress. No, don't digress. Thank you for sharing that. Laundrell. Outcast. Let's start somewhere, y'all. We could start tomorrow and we can make this a daily thing. You know what I mean? Make it your ritual. Make it a part of your ritual. Make it your ritual is your regimen. What you do frequently is your frequency. So, set the tone. These are things that you could do for free. These are things that you can do with your willpower. These are things that you can do without too many obstacles getting in your way. You feel me? As an alchemist, we take the things that are surrounding us that we have access to, and we make the best out of them. We utilize them for their for what it's worth. We the alchemists. We've done this with many things before. So now this is what we'll be doing tomorrow. I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat. I was looking at some Whitney Houston videos today, man. Some nippy videos and whatnot. Yeah, man, that was a special lady, bro. That was a very special lady. And she she is auntie. Like, she's the definition of auntie, Whitney Houston. From the drug, from her early inception, where she was like the bad auntie and whatnot, with the, you know what I mean? She was just the all around bad auntie. Then she was auntie that had a few dollars and whatnot. Do you recommend that we fast? Yeah. You know what I mean? She was the auntie that had a few dollars and whatnot. This is before she met Bobby Brown. This is pre-Bobby. You know what I'm talking about? Pre-Bobby Whitney. She was a problem. She was pressure. Pre-Bobby Whitney was pressure. You feel me? And hold on. And then even when she went through what she went through, you know, she still reminds me of a lot of the aunties that went through that shit, bro. You know? Me, I have a personal attachment through childhood memories. She was the first record that my dad bought us for Christmas when he bought us a little record player. It was like my first Sony for those days. But it was legit like a record. We was trying to do the scratching and all of that shit like we was Grandmaster Flash, but I don't know if it was like a technique. It wasn't up there like that. We was fucking up a lot of records. But it was the record with Greatest Love of All and and I will only. This is a Schoolie Red story. This is coming from the Schoolie Red files. And and it was you know what I mean? I'm gonna keep it a buck. The album cover, I think she was on the beach. It was a heavy crush on Auntie. It was a heavy crush on like she might have been my first celebrity crush. You know? Yeah, the Bodyguard soundtrack. Man. By then it was a CD. It started with the record and then it went into the CDs with me and her. We had the soundtrack. It was so bad that I was getting Kevin Costner was getting close up on. I'm like, man, y'all should shoot this nigga again. You know, the Scorpion in me kicked in. I'm like, my nigga's too close to Whitney. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? So did I say that Big Meech? Did I say 50 Cent is being cornered? Right? What's the song that I cried to? Is that well, there's a few songs, but one of the songs that I cried to was The Making of a Woman by Curtis Mayfield, Fire and Spice with Rick James. And I believe it was a Whitney song too, because that's when I had my had a little girlfriend and whatnot. And yeah, that was one of our songs. So whenever I would hear that, it would evoke. You know. She was with Bobby when we was all at Uncle Gerald Levert house and shaking his yeah. Whitney, damn sure cool, man. I heard a lot of good things about her. You know, I heard a lot of things about her. I cried to the Her Song Process. Oh man, yeah. Prince would evoke some type of feelings and whatnot, but I didn't cry to no Prince song. But we all got that song that we could tie to our first love and our first relationships or whatever that relationship was that you be hitting on the Memorex, on the rewind and whatnot. You know? Oh yeah, Maxwell, This Woman's Work. I remember when that came out and I was with I think I was with Stacy. That song was very, very it touched a part of me when I heard it. Like it dug deep, you know. So yeah, Purple Rain, you cried. So there's something that took place today with the releasing of the Epstein files that I want to point out. And I don't know if I pointed it out when I first spoke about it. So today they released the Epstein files and it was a dud, right? And one of the things that stood out was the fact that they invited the influencers and streamers to be some of the first people that were given access to these files, right? And that was some bullshit, you know. That was some real uh disrespectful, middle finger to the media. But I get it. It's part of the Trump semantics. It's really like the more that I look at it, the more I'm understanding that it is what it is what it is exactly it is what it exactly is, right? That he basically understands, this is Donald Trump that I'm speaking about. He understands his demographics, right? He understands who is the quote unquote, he knows who the people are who is his base. He understands their learning levels, right? He understands their learning levels, or what you would call their grade levels. And he understands that they could be considered to be, and I'm not being disrespectful in any way, but they could be considered to be some of the ignorant. They could be entertained by ignorance because of their lack of education, and I just would say overall knowledge of things. And that's not a very negative thing in a way, right? I know it could be taken as, kind of like, it is what it is. He's appealing to a demographic of people who are considered to be very ignorant. So the more ignorant that he can perceive himself to be, whether it's something that they set up, because a lot of that shit that you see him doing with the media and in the press, all of that shit is rehearsed. It's all scripted. The majority of it is scripted. So even from the way that he interfaces with media, the way that he answers questions, the way that he has set up his this shit to be fake transparent and very evasive and whatnot, is all dealing with the psychology of his base, who are the same people that watch wrestling. They're the ones that are enthralled in the WWE. They're the ones that are enthralled in the Zeus Network. They're the ones that are enthralled in the soap operas. They're the ones that are enthralled in reality television. They're the ones that are watching Netflix. They understand the psychology of, through data mining, right? Through big tech, data mining, and big data, they know exactly how to appeal to the Roman circus of the majority of the people who are tapped in to this motherfucking greatest show on the earth. And I would say to you, like, preserve your motherfucking energy and preserve your your mental health by not getting sucked into the Roman Colosseum, not getting sucked into the theater, not getting sucked into the semantics, not getting sucked into having to choose a side, not getting sucked into the quote unquote propaganda and the psyops of it all, and just, literally kind of like low key tweak this shit, like make it work in your favor, make it work in your favor. You know what I'm talking about? Because other than that, it might work against you. Don't take anything that you see personal. It's a part of an agenda. I would say go and read Project 2025 so you don't put your feelings in it. So you don't put your feelings in it because they will drain you emotionally. They will drain you emotionally. They will drain you spiritually. They will drain you energetically. It's like vampirism on the webs right now. They will drain you physically, right? They have the ability to do such. So that's why shows like this are important. That's why platforms like this is important. That's why platforms like Black Magic 363 is important. That's why platforms like Urban X TV is important. That's why platforms like Do the Knowledge Radio is important. Platforms like Crumb TV. If I forget or if I don't mention, pardon me. You know what I mean? It's nothing personal. But yeah, there's a few of them. Professor Griff has a platform. Crystals and Pyramids has a platform. Brother, that's Uncle Hank for anybody out there. You feel me? Yeah. You said Project 22. I would assume that they scrubbed it because they don't want you to get your hands on it because you're gonna be able to figure out what the fuck is happening for the next. Because think about it, he's here for 4 years. So the first 2 years is gonna be him dismantling shit. Oh, Bedell has his platform. You know what I mean? Bedell 1014 has a platform. And I'm happy to announce that we will be doing a lecture in March for the Fear of a Blackamoor Messiah series featuring Bedell 1014, Alkebalon 44, Blue Pill 44, and Red Pill 44. All right. I said 1014, right? Shout out to Q Reeves. He has a platform as well. Sharif Bey has a platform. We doing a collab because y'all asked for it. So I was able to put together the collab, and this is gonna be a instant classic. And you know it's gonna go about 8 hours. This shit is gonna be extensive. There's an early bird special. I'm gonna drop the link right now in the chat for anybody that wants to get on top of the early bird special and take advantage of it. And we will see you on 3/22, March the 22nd. March the 22nd. You dig? So that's what it is. You know what I mean? But yeah, we got it. We yeah, it's that time. Yes, it's gonna be on Zoom only. It'll be on Zoom only, and then right after that, based off of how we do the Zoom and everything, we'll be able to pop out in a physical on a physical date. We'll do that. We'll do it on a fit. We'll do something on a physical date, and you know, the ball is in the people's court because the people can make it bigger than life. We could start it out with us four on the bill, or maybe we could add other people and make it a 2-day event. It's really on the shoulders of the people. That's how we're set up right now. We give the power to the people. You feel me? And let them make it grow. Same thing with Houston, Melanin Monday IRL in Houston, Melanin Monday IRL in North Carolina. Those two places, because the people call for that, we're working on that with people on the ground who reached out to put that together. So I pledge that we're going to do more IRLs, more pop outs, more physical stuff. And we're standing on that and we're doing it. You know what I mean? We're doing it. We want to come to North Carolina in March Madness. So we'll keep everybody updated. You know, we'll keep everybody updated. So yeah, man. So yeah, the story with this kid, this, you know, Arrest warrant confirms Atlanta rapper Lil Baby's connection to these boys' murder, right? We'll keep everybody updated to this story dealing with this character right here. And you know, it has different implications to it, but we'll keep I'll keep people updated to that. Say you still riding the red. Oh, I was listening to that the other day. You know what I mean? He's in custody. Okay, he's in custody. They snatched him up already. Yeah, if one of his people's, the way that I saw the story is kind of like, I don't know how they could charge him for the death of those children. They were, I got to see the paperwork to see what's going on. I would have to see the paperwork. Him and Dirk ain't getting out. Yeah, ain't that crazy? If he goes down and Dirk goes down, they both go down. That'll be like that's a whole era right there. That's the Migos. That's the Migos. That's Lil Baby. Marlo is dead, right? And this whole thing really is stemming from the little Marlo killing that took place. You know, it's a lot of street shit. You know what I mean? And I don't want to put my nose into no street stuff because I'm just a reporter. You know, I'm just a reporter. But you say you don't know nobody from that era. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. You know. Oh, what was I gonna say about them forming against 50 Cent? So you got Rick Ross, Little Meech, Big Meech. Now they linked up with Floyd Mayweather. So that's the Voltron. And then 42 Doug and a few of the Detroit rappers said that they were standing with the whole Meech thing. So what potentially happens where people are looking like they have certain, and it's happening with Cameron as well, where people are forming up. He got Jim Jones on his neck, pause, and he got Ocho Cinco as well. And I'm seeing the public begin to shift the tide against some of these sassy dudes that are kind of like troublemaking and whatnot. Like 50 is losing the people because it's beginning to look like, yo, all you deal with is just falling out with people. Like you're falling out with people. You're being, you know what I mean? However, when you look at it as a chess game, right? Because everything is chess. Because you learn when you look at certain things. I could learn from a fool, right? And I learn from these stories and these quote unquote situations because they all have learning lessons. They all have a lesson inside of them. These are street stories. These are urban myths, right? These turn into stories, and everything is still extracting data. It's still a moral of the story. And the moral of the story, especially in the sense of 50, is that he's putting his he's putting his character over other people, saying that I'm a man of character. I stand for something. So Mayweather has a questionable character, Rick Ross questionable character, and then Big Meech questionable character because of the allegations that they're putting on him and whatnot. And then of course Little Meech just being in the whole thing and getting caught in that. But as a grown man, people are saying that he needs to stop being so messy and he needs to focus on certain things that are more uplifting and stop being such a juvenile man. And that's the same thing that we're seeing with both Cameron. That's the same thing that we're seeing with Jim Jones. These are men who refuse to grow up, right? Men that are living in their third childhood, men that are still lamenting over things that are happened in their childhood, men that are still showing that they're having quote unquote childhood issues while at the same time having children who have father issues and daddy issues, because there's a situation of daddy issues on every single side of the equation in all of these stories, from Supreme and his son to 50 Cent and his son to Big Meech and his son, or until Floyd Mayweather and whatever issues that he may have with his seeds and whatnot. So it's a lot of shit going on. And I think, you know, cosmically is dealing with Saturn, very heavy Saturn. Saturn is the father, right? The Saturn shit is kicking a lot of niggas in their asses, pause, in their backsides and whatnot. Father Saturn is coming here to clean up a lot of things. Even with that Trump energy, it's a Father Saturn type of energy, even though it is very arrogant, nihilistic, Machiavellian. You know, Trump is exemplifying the qualities of an American psycho, along with Elon Musk, along with many people in their quote unquote cabinet on a daily basis. Trump is exemplifying all of the traits of what I showed y'all in earlier episodes when we dived into the dark tetrad personalities and the dark triad personalities. Trump is showing you that with his tweets. He's showing you that with his actions. He's showing you that with his with the way that he's carrying himself to other national leaders, world leaders, even with the imperialistic nudges and whatnot. Name the Trump, name the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America. These are imperialistic nudges of manifest destiny going forward from the borders that they already conquered to conquering more land, to conquering more nations. You should just join us, Canada, and become another state. He's saying you should just that was given in a light way, but that's imperialistic ambitions. That's manifest destiny. That, you know, Canada originally was part of the Louisiana Purchase prior to that. You know, it is still part of the Americas in a sense, but Trump with the imperialism, Greenland, Panama, Canada, all of this shit is imperialism, but it's given to you in the Trump lexicon or through the Trump way, where he's appealing to the ignorance of people, where he's appealing to the wrestling mind, the monkey mind of these wrestlers. He's appealing to the westernized, red-blooded America, you know, middle America, you know, bro culture, bromance, podcast, right wing, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, these type of dudes, blue eye, blonde hair, that type of shit. That's who he's talking to. That's who he's riling up. Good old American boys. And he's getting them ready for war and conquest. That's what he's doing. And he's giving them every little piece that he's getting, the Joe Rogans of the world. He's giving them piece by piece. Piece by piece. He's handing them the kingdom piece by piece, like when they invaded Alhambra and then they took over and they made the Moors vassals and whatnot. As a melanated person, even though he's gonna throw bones at you niggas, you're not gonna get anything worth getting by sucking up and not getting it yourself in the next 4 years or the next 40 years. These motherfuckers are going on a crusade and they're going to imperialistically try to conquer Africa and other lands. And the same shit that they did to them niggas in Gaza, what the fuck make you think that they won't do it to you? The world just sat back and watched 45,000 people get wiped off of the face of the planet in a straight Holocaust, while the same people who were doing it were like, what's happening over there? What happened? What did they do? They committed a genocide in front of your face, and you really think that they are not about to do more of those? You niggas are fucking crazy, bro. You don't know what you're looking at. They pulled off a genocide, and they're about to do a few more of them. You thought Bibi Netanyahu was going crazy. Trump wants to outdo him. Trump is looking at BB like, nigga, look at what BB and them got away with. Where did they get a load of us? Very Squid Game-ish, very Hunger Game-ish. Yes, they're giving the very Hunger Game-ish. Remember in the last season of The Boys where Homelander did what? He received power of the government and he put the government into martial law. And what did he do? He started signing executive orders and he started changing things and he turned the presidency into something like an emperor or a king. Is that not what Trump just did in the first 30 days? That's why I was telling everybody about the TV show from Amazon Prime called The Boys, right? Season 4, where they introduced the black lady called Sage, right? That's Candace Owens. Okay? And Homelander, who literally was written to be Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the doppelganger of Homelander, who is a villain on that show called The Boys. In his universe, he's more powerful than Superman. He's like the evil Superman. Okay? And in the season finale of that show, he was able to wiggle his way into the presidency. And in the season finale, the last 5 minutes when they were wrapping everything up, setting it up for its final season, season 5, which is the season that we're in, he committed a coup d'etat. He enacted martial law. And then they turned all of the evil mutants, right? Because this is about, they're like mutants and whatnot. Some of them are evil, most of them are anti-heroes. Let's just say, and we don't want to say evil. They are the anti-heroes, right? They are posing as heroes, like how you have these government officials that are posing as heroes. They're opposing as superheroes. They're opposing as government officials. They're opposing as trustworthy public servants, right? That's the same. And that's the magic in the writing of The Boys is the way that the writers have juxtaposed the superheroes with corrupt government, and the writing is superb on that series because they literally flipped the superhero genre on its head. They in a way they destroyed and disrupted the Marvel universe and the DC universe by creating this universe with The Boys and whatnot in these 5 seasons, because it kind of like deflates the Marvel universe because it's satire, but it's so good, right? The writing is so good. And it ties in with so much social shit that's going on right now. Yes, predictive programming to the motherfucking T. Yes, indeed. They programmed the shit out of the public with that show. Don't let your kids watch it. No, yeah, don't. It's very gory. It's very graphic. And it has some scenes in it that are highly, sus. You know what I mean? It got it's like 2 or 3 scenes that are sus. But you've been warned. It's sort of like watching Game of Thrones. It's literally the same thing as watching Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones got some sus shit in it, very gory and highly adult. So it's almost the same thing for superhero genre. Yeah, you couldn't get too far into it. Yeah. More than 2 or 3 questionable scenes. Yeah. Well, they took it way past Watchmen. They damn sure did. So, that's where they at with these shows on TV these days. Look, American Gods was taking it there. The Watchmen was taking it there. The The shit with with Jonathan Majors, um, Lovecraft. They was taking it there. All of them take it there. So let's not single that out. They all got that agenda shit in it, and they all taking it there. They all, it's, you know what I mean? It's all some shit where you got to be like, fam. Because my thing with the Lovecraft was it was the shorty that was, she was turning into the black girl, right? I didn't get to the Man in the High Castle. It's been recommended 100 times that I remember. I gotta go binge on that. I have not binged on that, and I'll get to that eventually because so many people bring that up in The Handmaid's Tale. So I got you on that. You feel me? Lovecraft was on point. Yeah, I remember, man. Lovecraft on the Boomies. That was something else. I was in a whole new universe. Yeah, I think they're gonna bring Kang back, but not in the same capacity. Man Who Fell to the Earth too. That was fire. I didn't even get to watch the new Black Captain America. I know I'm wilding, right? I didn't even get to it yet, but I will get to it. I will get to it. I didn't watch that Euphoria thing either. You know, I can't watch everything. Can't watch everything. And I ain't been watching TV for a minute now. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I've not been like Oz, what's his name? Penguin was maybe the last one that I watched. Penguin. That was my ish. They wrote the hell out of that. Man Who Fell to the Earth was dope. Yeah, American Gods. You feel me? I need to see one more season of that. They canceled Lovecraft. I needed another season of Lovecraft, another season of The Watchmen. They canceled The Watchmen. Literally, the strongest superhero in that universe was a black woman at the end. And prior to that, it was her husband. He was Dr. Manhattan. Calvin was Dr. Manhattan. And in the DC universe, Dr. Manhattan was more powerful than Superman. He was the most, Dr. Manhattan is the most powerful entity in that universe. And it was a black woman. It was Shorty from 227, Regina King. And then they did not give you a season 2. They was like, nah, we ain't doing that. And then Lovecraft popped out and they went super esoteric, metaphysical with it. And that shit ended crazy. And they was like, nope, no season 2 for that. So just think about it. And Watchmen was super charged up with the storyline. The narrative on that shit was crazy. Yeah, Supercell came. That was 2024. They went crazy with it, and they coming with a season 2. They approved them for a season 2. So I look forward to that. I want to see the last season of the Harlem shit. That was my shit with Malcolm X and Bumpy Johnson, Godfather of Harlem. I need them to hurry up and come with that. I can't even watch the BMF shit the same anymore. I don't even know what to do with that. I can't even watch the BMF series anymore the same. It's just not gonna hit the same. You know what I mean? 50 Cent went and fucked that whole thing up, man. God damn it. He made Big Meech an action figure. He made Big Meech, that nigga was about to start shooting lasers out of his eyes or something. Like, he literally made Big Meech an action figure. You feel me? They had little Meech out there like he was gonna be the next James Bond in this bitch. You feel me? So I can't even watch that the same no more. I guess that season is over. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't really even watch the TV like that. I don't know. I don't got time. I don't have time. I don't know how most people got the time, but I don't be having that shit. But yeah, man. I don't know if we're gonna be doing something for the alignment tomorrow. I'll let y'all know. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all hit the notification so you're notified. Uh Make sure you check the notifications so you'll be notified. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Make sure you support the channel by going to buy me a coffee /Know the Ledger 444. You feel me? And if you want to get the album, you can get it there. If you want to get a ticket to the event with Alkebalon, B-Del, Red and Blue, you can get it there. If you want to get some merch, t-shirts, hoodies, we're about to put the MAGA hats. These MAGA hats, these are one-on-ones. So I had to go and wait until I was able to manufacture multiple hats. So it's not a one-on, because this is a one-on-one. Man, people are asking me, yeah, they took my monetization away, man. I had that shit for like 2 months and it's gone now, but it is what it is. You know how they you know what it is, man. You know what it is. So we're back to the buy me a coffee. We can't do the super chat until because they playing games. They're gonna take it away, they're gonna give it back. They're gonna take it away, they're gonna do it back. You know what I mean? So right now it's buy me a coffee until they decide that they want to monetize it again. You feel me? The Chronicles of Satra says, make sure y'all have a lot of sex as well. Tase that energy. You said, why did they take it away? I don't know. I just got an email one day and they said that they took it away. I don't have any strikes or anything. I didn't get any strikes and whatnot, but they definitely took the monetization away. But that don't mean nothing. We're gonna keep moving. We're gonna keep working. That monetization don't even change. I didn't cash none of those checks, so I don't even know what that shit even hit. What it's hitting for, and it doesn't matter. I got my Patreons. Shout out to all of them. I make sure every month we give them a lecture. We give them classics. I guarantee y'all, When in Rome was fire. That was dope. But this one right here that we do, the Fear of a Black and More Messiah, this is going to be this is gonna be crazy. This is gonna be crazy. We're gonna break the motherfucking internet. We are going to shift the algorithm with this one. It's gonna be so many bombs dropping, so much information, so much science, so much decoding. Putting 4 geniuses, 4 engineers, 4 decoders and master minds together is gonna create something new. So I want to say thank y'all for your time. I look forward to serving y'all this hot plate. This food for thought that we're gonna be feeding y'all and whatnot is gonna have me in the lab going super hard, deep researching, drilling. I'm gonna be drilling. I'm gonna be fracking for that information. Semen retention is much powerful than having sex tomorrow. I agree, Vlex. Semen retention is much powerful than having sex tomorrow, especially for the men. I don't know what semen retention, the semen retention keyword semen. So that's for the men. If you could bring your wife or your woman or your lady or your loved one to orgasm to get them right, that's a thumbs up. That's what you do. That's your job. You know what I mean? But I would definitely say for the men, if you could retain the seed, you feel me? If you could retain the charge, if you can hold the charge, if you can charge that battery, my genius, you will thank me later. Don't if you could restrain from spilling your seed tomorrow, then I would say, yeah, do that. You know what I mean? What do you have to lose? You know what I'm talking about? What do you have to lose? Hold on to that charge. Turn that charge into a song. Turn it into a poem. Turn it into some bars. Turn it into a pull-up bar. You know, like go work out. Turn it into a story. Get on AI and start what do they call that? Prompting out your next movie script or your next ebook or your next curriculum for a class that you want to teach. We got to be more creative and whatnot. These inventors from the 1800s, they making us look bad. So many inventions. I did 10 videos like the one that I showed y'all earlier with the black inventors and whatnot. 10 of them using the AI, right? 10 of them. So we got a lot of inventors that are unsung that people don't even know about. Each one of them is a movie. Each one of them is a movie, y'all. Let that sit there real quick. Each one of them is an asset. Each one of them is a movie. You feel me? So it's like it's time to create. I want to create more assets, more digital assets in this digital realm that we're in, this quote unquote fourth dimension and whatnot. It's a new world. And you could populate that new world with your intellectual property. Am I observing the blackout tomorrow? Yeah. Yeah. You feel me? Peace, intricate. Peace, God. They feeling the drip, bro. They feeling the drip. I'm gonna need a commercial on this channel so we could have you as one of our sponsors, King. I'm gonna need a commercial. So let's build and whatnot. I'll send you the information, but they feeling the drip. So I want to get you on this platform. That, you know what I mean? Like when they take away monetization from channels, I'm just here to let you know that media is built off of advertising. And I belong to a community with $1 million brands and $1 billion owners and founders and whatnot. So I don't want to rely on commercials to be in my videos selling you potato chips that we don't own and our faces are not on the bags, or they're selling you shit that I don't have no affiliation. I would rather have affiliates. I would rather have small businesses reach out so we can have advertising and we create our own commercials. Like that's the real flex. That's how we get back against DEI and all of that shit that they talking about boycott and boycott and whatnot. No, get on these platforms. I average 5,000 views an episode, from 5,000 to 10,000. One day it'll be 100,000. And get on these platforms, become an advertising partner on these platforms, become a sponsor of these platforms, and get your product and your service out there. Let's do these commercials, similar to how Urban X had their commercials. We're open to that. We're open to that. You know what I mean? So many creatives are a part of this network, like this brother right here, Lico TV, one of the geniuses behind the 44 Tops and many of the artwork that you're seeing on this platform. You know, it takes a village to get this machine going and moving the way that it's moving and whatnot. And it's gonna only continue to get bigger, stronger, and it's gonna grow, and we're going to reach into more markets. I want to leave you with this this nugget right here, this piece of digital art, right? From the 44 Tops, the release that we just had for this album right here, that you could get personally signed by me and sent to you in the mail. The link is on the link is in Buy Me a Coffee. All right. This is for sale, y'all. This right here is Talk Black to Me. All right. So once again, utilizing the technology for your benefit in this digital realm, right? Why are we in the digital I'm in the digital. I don't know about you, but I'm in the digital realm. I'm in the digital. I know where I'm at. I'm aware of my surroundings. I'm not one of these niggas that be on smartphones talking about, man, technology is Satan. Fam, you on an iPhone 20. Like, yo, nigga, you got the shit that's dropping in 2027. Like, you're not even on a BlackBerry talking all of that. Like, what are we doing? That causes cognitive dissonance. Moderation and everything. I control technology. I built this shit. I'm God over this. You know what I'm talking about? I mounted the machine. It didn't mount me. I'm not addicted to it. We are masters over technology. So yeah, talk black to me, y'all.
The surprise that you're surprised. I'm not touching you, I'm just smudging you. The surprise that you're surprised. The love the teacher teaching, the ancestors watching. The devil spent the blood of the star seeds got the drum. Talk black to me, the revolution getting digitized. The movement getting monetized. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock, we built pyramids on the rock. Walked off with invisible weapons in the skies. Spirit cookers in the skies. Got tears in the motherland's eyes. Watching her people shook and jive. Talk back to me. Talk back to me, 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 talk back to me. Oh, the master teacher's teaching, the ancestors watching. The devil spent the block, but the star seeds got the drop. Talk back to me, Lord. The revolution got digitized, the movement got monetized. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock, we built pyramids on the third block. Talk back to me, Lord. Imaginary weapons in the skies, spirit cookers in the skies. Tears in the motherland's eyes, watching her people shut the job. Talk back to me, Lord, Lord. They stepped on philosophy, so dope to the prophecy. Facts, try to snap box with galaxy, but throw a status at the arch degree. Facts, facts, I'm not judging you, smudging you, just like a warrior's supposed to do. When you need peace, love, and light, peace, love, and light. For his family, the 44 times, the 44 times. Talk black to me, Lord, the 44 times to this day. Lord, the 44 times, talk black to me. If you didn't have a reason, Jason said 'tis the season. The 44 times, Lord, the 44 times.
Yeah. So yeah, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we up out of here. We're gonna end this with the Facts remix. We will see you very, very soon. Peace, love, and light to the family. One.
Brand new purple light, friends. Brand new purple light, friends. Facts. Brand new purple light, friends. Red and blue, purple light, friends. Facts. You can get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road, you better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego. Then I opened my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we're stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah, we gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts, we in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts, peace, love and light, peace, love to the family, peace, love and light to the family, peace, love and light to the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you, and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.